Krishnan, there's been a lot of talk of the fighting slowing down over the winter, but that's not what we've seen in Donetsk over the last few days. And President Zelensky said overnight that this is the most active battlefront at the moment. In the town of Bakhmut, there is street fighting. Across the steppe, the agricultural land, there are artillery duels. There are machine guns active all the time. And as we found out, in the trenches with Ukrainian soldiers, Russian snipers as well. Not the Somme, but Donetsk. Not 1916, but now in the 21st century. Ukrainian soldiers trudging through the splashing mire of the trenches. This is how it will be all winter, through rain and sleet and snow, inches of territory lost and gained.
Enemy for 500 meters of our...
So the enemy is just 500 meters away?
Yes.
That's not very far?
Yeah.
Bit too close for comfort?
Yeah. Every soldier have his fighting place.
Vadim shows me a firing position.
So everyone. And fight.
And fight, yeah.
If we have artillery fight for us, we have...
The soldiers rotate every 2.5 hours and at times get barely any sleep.
We have superpower.
You have what's your superpower?
I'm Ukrainian.
The commander leads us further into the warren.
Треба зараз цей участок, воно до того копа, побистрій перебігти, потому що...
And tells us we have to run across a stretch of open ground, left so tanks can pass between trenches. The trees have shed their leaves, so there's no cover. We can hear outgoing machine gun fire. In the deepest part of the trench, it's always night.
Добрий день.
How are you? And even the shortest soldier has to bend down to avoid cracking his head. Yuri shows me the location of an observation point.
Так, це тут пулеметчик.
And where the machine gunner stands.
Це наш спостерігательний пункт. От там. О, ту-ду-ду-ду-ду. Спостерігаємо тут.
The Ukrainians don't just want to push the Russians back, but also to get them to waste manpower and ammunition.
У нас ще є, я далі там покажу, трошки побільше. Калібр 12,7. Ми його виносимо і та-та-та-та. І вони ще швидше замовкають при такому калібрі.
By now, the outgoing fire was getting intense, and there was incoming too as we were trying to leave. We've just heard sniper fire overhead. That was after all the outgoing from the Ukrainian machine guns. So we're just going to stay down here for a bit.
Пасе. Він тільки що тут. А ну давай вліво тут, накрий їх пулеметом, пожалуйста. Із ДШК може туди поработати. Коротше, тільки що йшов. І якраз отут він дивиться сюди.
So we wait. Listening. The outgoing machine gun fire from the Ukrainians is aimed at suppressing the Russians so they don't fire back. But the problem is that as long as there's firing from this position, there could be firing coming into us. And that's why we're waiting here in this trench and not moving.
3, 2.
After a few minutes of quiet, it's time for us to run across the open ground to the other trench. All safe. and now down into the safety of the soldiers' sleeping quarters, which are warm and cosy, a necessity, not a luxury, because they need to keep kit dry. And Vadim has a companion.
We have friend. No,
Olyenka, the kitten, is just 2 months old.
she is good warrior.
She's a good
Yeah.
fighter.
Mouse.
Oh, she gets the mice.
Yeah, yes.
Do you have a problem with
Yes,
mice in the
yes.
trench?
No, our place in the field.
Yeah.
It's field many mouse.
And so, do you have a wife? Vadim thinks of the Netherlands, where he worked before the war, and of his girlfriend, who's in the Czech Republic.
If we win, I stand in Ukraine, make a family.
Yes. You'll make your life here.
My children live in the freedom country.
Life in Ukraine will be tough this winter, and nowhere tougher than the trenches of Donetsk. The risk is only too clear. But Ukrainian soldiers know why they're fighting and what they must endure to win.